Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Slow Burn Podcast, episode 3 of season 4. And like always, I'm one of your co-hosts, Patrick from Nintentalk, joined by the Cozy Queens. Peyton, how's it going?
It's going. Hello. What's up, everyone? It's Peyton with an A of Peyton's Corner. I hope you're doing so good on this lovely Tuesday or Wednesday, or if you're late to the party, you're listening on a Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, or even a Monday. We still love you. Thanks for being here. Min, how are you?
I am good. I was across the country earlier today, and now I'm here, and I'm happy because it gave me something to like look forward to instead of just like moping around the rest of the day. So, yeah, I'm glad we could still record.
I always feel like so important when I fly in from... I don't fly often, but like when I do fly in, I'm like, oh, I just got in from LA. Min just got in from LA, and she's... recording a little podcast. Okay.
But you know what? Every time I go to LAX, I'm like, oh, I'm going to see a famous person. Never do.
You said that
Unless
like
I'm
you
not
hate
looking.
that. This is how I would
wanna
say that
see a
sentence.
famous-
I might see a famous person.
You
I
won.
said it like
1000%
that because
did,
like
but you probably
I did
didn't
it,
see him.
you know.
Okay, Harry Styles was walking around New York the other day, or a couple weeks ago, and it was like close to where I was that day, and I did see a guy from like across the way that I was like, that guy's looking cute. And then later I went on TikTok and I saw Harry Styles was walking around, and I was like, what if that was a Harry Styles, low-key? And I just was like, oh no, that's a guy who looks like him.
It's a cute boy, you know?
That's a cute boy. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, they kind of look like that person, but no, it couldn't be that person.
Yeah.
Keep on walking.
Not me. I'm look at someone and I'm like, oh, that's Harry Styles. And then I think to Van. I go to Van. Should I do something? Like, should I say something? Like, and then he's like, no. And then my sister will be like, no, don't say anything. And then I'll be like, hey, Harry Styles. That would be me. Because I
I need
feel
to
like
be
this
bold.
FOMO of like, what if this is my one chance, you know?
Yeah.
But I feel like, you know,
I
maybe
think
I
I
wouldn't do it
also
on a plane.
I was also like, why would Harry Styles be walking around by himself? I was like, surely that's not Harry Styles. Sorry that I thought that he can't walk around by himself. I'm sorry that I thought that. He's allowed to do whatever he
Maybe
wants.
that makes it less obvious.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm not like I like Harry Styles, but I'm not like a diehard Harry Styles person. So I was like, is that
Might be.
Watermelon Sugar? I don't
Allie
know. Is
Miller
that
would know.
him? Oh, is she a big Harry Styles fan?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Oh my god, I'll have to ask her. Be like, did I blow up this opportunity? I should have said hi to Harry Styles. But anyway, Cozy Games,
What do
am
we
I
have
right?
today, Pat?
Oh my god.
We got a
What's
lot
on
on
the
the menu.
agenda? The menu.
To start off, we have a nice conversation about Tomodachi Life, which is the big game release, and we're going to be talking all about it, including, do we recommend it? And I think the answer to that might surprise you. We're going to be talking about Tomodachi Life. Some emails and a Kickstarter, which I have not seen yet. Min brought it up.
Me either.
So it's going to be a blind reaction to a Kickstarter. We haven't looked at a Kickstarter in a while, but Patreon discussion, pretty good show. So should be amazing.
Yay!
Yeah. If you want to support the show, you can over on Patreon. For as little as $5 a month, you can support the show. Lots of new content over there. Lots of people upgrading recently because we now have some new stuff for this brand new season, including full unedited episodes. We recorded like 10 minutes before this episode? Just a bunch of randomness.
Last week was crazy. Last week was like long.
Yeah.
The in between was. It was like
I think it added,
it was
like,
in between. It was a
30
lot.
minutes or something.
Yeah.
We just kept going.
Yeah. So we have unedited episodes. We have a multiplayer game video, which will be next week, and then our after shows. So lots of content over on Patreon, and
or like we call it, Patron.
Patron,
Like Peyton.
Sponsored by me.
Robot Peyton. And then
That's me.
You can check out the video version. Have you ever wondered what Min looks like? I have. Never saw Min before. You can over on YouTube. Slowburncast. Check out Min, check out Min. That sounds weird.
Yeah, sometimes I look good and sometimes I don't.
No, the way that Pat was making us and his Tomodachi Life Island would have you convinced that maybe he's never looked at us.
It's tough. You don't want to mess it up. You don't want to mess it up.
Oh, Mr.
Absolutely.
Pat.
So let's get into that. Let's talk about Tomodachi Life. I want to go into our first impressions. We've all played at least something. Played a few hours.
Played it.
10 hours. Played 40 hours. Man, first impressions,
Yes.
Tomodachi Life. Are you enjoying it more than you thought you would? Less than you thought you would? What's the vibe?
Definitely more.
Mm.
I mean, I never played the first one, so like I always heard about it, and honestly, what I heard about it, like kind of, I was like, what? Because what I had originally heard about Tomodachi Life was kind of back. It was after the 3DS era, and I was trying to collect like 3DS games, and I remember watching videos of like which games I should get, and people were explaining it as you put your mom in there, your dad, your sister. Oh my gosh, my mom and sister got married, and I'm like, what the heck
Hey, yo.
is that? You know what I mean? And they're like, it's so funny. And so like that was like my very first time hearing about it. So I just knew it was chaotic and silly. But yeah, this new game
Do you
is my
own
first
the
time
3DS
playing the
version?
series. I never owned it. No.
It's
it was
expensive.
like a harder one to find. Yeah.
It's like
How
over-
expensive is it?
It's like 110. It's over $100.
I'm
Yeah.
surprised it went up a lot now. I guess people want to play the old one. But
yeah, it'll probably
yeah.
drop. But
So I told you guys last week I played the demo, played it once on my account and once on my brother's account. And then yeah, that's where I kind of got like into it. I was like, wait, I really like making the Miis, which me and Pat talked about. We're like, Pat was kind of giving me the impression like maybe that would be a tedious part of the game. And so I kind of was like thinking that too. But I think, at times maybe it can be. But if you really like it, like me, then you'll really like it. I like trying to make them look as accurate as possible with what they give you. And like some of the face shapes are not the shape I need, or like sometimes I'm painting the full face myself. So it's really fun. I really like making the Miis, and yeah, like that was my first impression was from the demo, and then getting more into the gameplay, getting to see more how they interact and like actually what they do when they interact, because I didn't really get to that part of the demo. So first impressions, and we'll go into it more, but I want to hear from you guys. My first impressions are good. I really like it, and I just hope it's a game that stays more relevant for a really long time, because it seems like it's gaining a lot of traction with community, and it's so fun and so chaotic, and yeah, I'm really liking it.
Peyton?
What about you, Peyton?
Yeah, I played it today for the first time in preparation for the show, because it's been a busy week for me, and it came out later in the week. It's only been a few days, but I told myself, I was like, oh, okay, cool. I'm gonna play for a few hours before the show to like get the feeling, get the vibe. I've watched both of you play a little bit, so I kind of knew a little bit like what I was getting into. And I knew I was going to have fun. Like, I felt like this is, ever since it was announced, even before, people always told me I would love the original game, which I had never played. And yeah, I mean, I'm doing exactly what you think I'm doing in Tomodachi Life. If you know me, you know exactly what's going on. It's Pei, and then like all of her fictional crushes.
It's just a bunch of fictional men.
So far, yeah. It will develop more.
It's The
It won't be
Bachelorette.
all. Yes, right now it is.
Who's in the game?
Okay, it's not that cursed yet. I was trying to like be a little.
Yeah.
I want to be a little silly, but I was taking too long to make the Miis, and I was like, I don't have time to draw today, so I was like, let's keep it pretty simple. Are you guys well versed with the Hunger Games?
A little.
A little bit.
Okay, have you guys
I read them all and saw the movies, but I'm like not keeping up with it now.
Sure. Did you guys see the prequel, The Ballad of Songbirds and Snakes?
Oh, I didn't see it. No.
Okay.
Peyton just has a bunch
What?
of random
The
deep
listeners
cuts
are
on her.
literally going, me, I
The listeners are like,
Tell
oh
'em,
my
tell 'em."
God, she made hot President Snow. And yeah, I did. Yeah, I did. So I was like, I think maybe because the next movie like just had a trailer, so the last one's been on my mind. But I did make hot President Snow as the first person. I was like, my little bad guy. We need him. We need him in there. And then I was like, okay, I need to pay homage to like one of my first fictional crushes that was like an unhealthy obsession. So I did hit him up with did you guys ever watch Once Upon a Time, the TV show?
I only watched a few episodes.
Nope.
But
Oh
yeah.
my God.
little.
These people don't get it.
Is that
Okay.
on CW?
I
don't even know.
I don't remember. I used to be obsessed though. My friends and I used to like, we dressed up as the characters and like went to school as them a bunch of times. Anyway, one of my first ever very unhealthy fictional crushes was Captain Hook from that show, aka Killian Jones. So I did make a nice little Killian Jones. And then I made myself, of course. And then I did make one of my heated rivalry boys. I did make Ilya, and I will be making Shane, and they will be together. I won't stand in the way of their love. So hopefully, unless they find other people they want to be with, but I hope they get together. That's kind of the goal. But I want to make Max Goof as a meme for the show.
Yeah.
But I realized I have to draw him. I was trying to make him and I was like, oh, I'm gonna have to draw him. And then I was like,
the stylist like me and Pat.
yeah, I might have to. I was trying to think of like all of my fictional crushes through all of my life, and I was like, oh, we might need like a Danny Phantom. We might there's like
Oh.
lots of
That's a
stuff.
That's fun.
Yeah, but I feel like I should like it shouldn't just be me as the only girly, so I might make other girlies too. We'll
Yeah.
see. Or other people.
No, I
but-
kind of like that concept. It seems really funny and chaotic, and I feel like
Yeah.
in a way there becomes a theme even if you don't intend to. Like yours is like fictional crushes, and I was
Mhm.
doing in my main save file mostly for my streams. I was doing like cozy game characters, and like on my other profile I was doing like mostly anime characters.
Yeah.
I don't have a theme. I have friggin' Steve
just
Harvey
whatever.
and Michael Myers on mine. Like the
Yeah,
serial
That's
but
the way
killer.
to do it.
You.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like those
It's
people
very
you
you.
most admire is like, yeah.
Yours are very good.
My Mies?
Yeah, you're like
Oh.
Brewster was crazy.
Oh my god. Thank you.
Job. That Min
course.
one, so good.
Min and Peyton are in my game, and
We
they
are.
are friends. Like, they literally, I think Min was like, I want to talk to Peyton. And I was like, okay.
Well,
In every
I'm
universe.
honored.
We should be
Look at us.
roommates.
We
were.
should be roommates. I would
They'll
love
probably
Make it
that.
ask
happen,
me.
Pat.
They'll probably ask me. Yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it more than the demo. I did enjoy the demo, but I was kind of worried because, I mean, over half of the game, you're making Mies. So, like, if you don't have Tomodachi Life yet, and we'll get to, like, do we recommend buying it later, but, like, it's such a big part of the game, and there's no database. There's no, like, downloading other people's creations. So it literally, the enjoyment of a big part of the game is in your hands, which I feel like,
Yeah.
you know, you got to know going into it. First impressions are good though. I actually like making the Mies more than I did before. I think making them on stream is funny because like people are like, put the nose up 4 and the mouth
I know.
down. And it's like, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
And they'll be like, "Are you using a stylus?" And I'm like, "No, I have it docked. I can't do that."
You're
and
watching
it doesn't
my
have mouse
gameplay.
mode.
You're like, what do you
So
mean?
I literally have to like do it. But then I took it as a compliment. I'm like, "Wait, am I good at this?"
Yeah. Yeah, so my first impressions are great. Like, I think the game is super fun. I don't know what this is going to look like in a month from now. I feel like it might drop off completely because I don't know, like I'm already seeing, I think I'm maybe like 10 plus hours in or 12 hours. I don't know what it is, but like I'm seeing a lot of like repeated dialogue and like there's still things that every time I go on, it's new, but like there is some repetition and stuff like that. And like a lot of my Miis have like the same personalities. I think there's like 16 personalities in total, but I feel like I'm getting a lot of the same ones. I don't know. But
And their fights like aren't enough. Like I want them to end the fight hating each other and like they don't want to be near each other and they want to be on different crosses like parts of the island because it just adds something different than we made up. And I don't know, I haven't seen everything yet, but that's one thing I was thinking of. Another thing I would love for them to like kind of add more of is just like more eye shapes, more I don't know, more things like that.
We need more noses.
Yeah, more noses. It's cool that you can like there is a lot of customization. You can draw things. I just don't want to draw my own eyes because they can't close them. So it would be cool if they did
or
add
like being
more
able
of
to like
that
shape
somehow.
the heads. Like
That
move the heads
right.
around. Yeah.
Then I could really make Hello Kitty, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, and if you don't know what Tomodachi Life is, basically it's like you make Miis and you put them into this world, and it's kind of like a fish tank. Like you just watch your characters interact, and like, you know, they have like requests that they want, you know, they'll have like thought bubbles. You go up to them, they're like, I want to change my clothes, or like I want to talk to so and so. So it's almost like I don't know, it's almost like an AFK game. Like it just kind of plays
like
itself. Almost.
An aquarium.
Yeah, boy aquarium.
The boy aquarium.
Well, that's Payton's. You know, I feel like a lot of people were saying, oh, it's like The Sims. And I feel like the major difference is that, I mean, I'm not a pro Sims player or anything. Not at all. But I feel like from playing it, I feel like the main difference is that you are like the person overseeing the people in the game, the Miis. But the difference is that you're making a lot of them. You're making all of them. And I'm pretty sure The Sims just has a bunch of ones that are already out there created that you can interact with. Yeah. And this is like you are building everything up.
Everyone, everything. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a lot more like management of the Miis and of the town and all of that. But it's really fun because once you start getting into it, you can make your Mii, get their personality, and then immediately go and get them an outfit. Where in the demo, I was like, I wasn't able to go get their outfit yet because the outfits would like, basically what people are saying online is like, it gives them a lobotomy and they're just stuck in their house crying and being like, I want the game to come out. When will the game release? So,
oh, shoot.
I know.
Yeah, after a certain point in the demo, they don't leave their houses and it's just like...
Yeah.
They're just sitting there.
Yeah. Yeah, so, I mean, the other interesting thing about, like, I think our opinions will change even next week about this game is that this game is a slow burn. It really is, because, like, you can't time travel in this game. So, like, I think everyone like, you can't time travel. If you do time travel, like Pokopia, like Animal Crossing, your shops, like, won't reset. Your, like, Mii's wants and needs, like, won't update or whatever. So there is actually a penalty of, like, time traveling, but it forces you to play the game at like a slower pace. And honestly, like if you're buying this game, play like 30-40 minutes a day, because you'll get so much more out of it. Like I know that, you know, some of us are streaming it for like 3-4 hours at a time. This game is really meant to be played like small increments. Like the 3DS Tomodachi Life, I remember playing that for like 20 minutes at a time and loving it and just opening it every day. I also unlocked the shop where it's like, it has 3 different times of day when there's like one new item. So like in the morning, there'll be a new item, the noon time and nighttime. So like it kind of wants you to play a little bit at a time, I think. So yeah.
Yeah.
I'm curious because tomorrow's my birthday and you have to put your birthday in the game. I would like there to be cake.
Yeah, we'll see what happens, right?
We'll see, because this is like the we can't fast forward. So I'm like, investigative journalism. I'll tell you what happens.
And like Pat said earlier, you know, with this game, like the hype might kind of die down online, at least, like in the conversation stuff. People will always be playing it, but something I just kind of was thinking about, and I wish that Nintendo would do a little more, is like really focus on updating their games that create these big player bases, because like Pokopia, yes, there are updates that come like seasonally or whatever, but I just didn't feel like they were big enough to like really showcase or like keep people like, oh my gosh, like hyped up about it. And I just kind of feel like this game they could do that too. Like they could keep this going and hype. And I think a lot of Nintendo games are like Donkey Kong, where you play it and you beat it. And like these more open-ended games, I just wish they would like, I don't know, do more for in the long run, because I think it's obviously good for them. I've seen that.
I feel like there is a lot that's programmed into the game already, because like I think it was yesterday or the day before, it was like, yeah, you can now buy like cherry blossom stuff in the shop.
Okay, yeah.
So I'm assuming that there's Halloween stuff, Christmas stuff programmed into the game already. We literally can't time travel to it. So I think there is going to be reason to come back, but I don't know if they'll like post about like, hey, you can now get Christmas stuff. Like I'm assuming, but
I hope so.
I think I was thinking a little bigger than that. Like,
oh yeah. I think there will
like,
be
hey,
something.
Update, we're doing big. I don't know.
It's currently out of stock on Amazon, so it's doing good. It's doing really well. The physical.
It is so fun, and I just really love playing it. And like while I'm playing it, I'm like trying to like I just feel like I want to talk about it, and I want to tell Van. I'm like, guess what you just did? Oh my god! Like
you put him in yours?
Yeah, I put him in my other save file.
Aww.
Are you gonna be upset if he flirts with like?
No, I'm trying to see who he's gonna marry, and then I'm gonna yell at him.
How are you guys enjoying the gameplay though? Like we talked about you can talk about creating the Miis, but like there is gameplay in this. It's weird. There's like mini games. There's a lot of designing, which I'm actually like just starting to unlock a lot of stuff like paths and different items and stuff. So I'll start with Peyton. You didn't play a ton, but like, what do you think of like the gameplay part?
Yeah, I agree with what you said. This definitely does feel like something that you would play like a little bit each day, and just kind of like watch unfold. I can't imagine playing for like 10 hours straight.
Yeah.
Not that everyone's doing that, but I don't think that's how I would play. From what I've gotten to play so far, I mean, I really like creating the Miis because I think there are so many different ways to do it. Even if you don't like hand draw things, like I haven't had one yet that I've like drawn things. So I'm trying to just be creative with what I've been given. And it's interesting because there's no like online database. So you have to make your own no matter what. But obviously a lot of people have similar minds, especially if you're doing like characters or celebrities. So I had some fun like looking up like one of the characters I made. I know like a bunch of other people made. So I was like, okay, I want to see how they did it. And then just like me being like, no, I could do it better. Mine is better. Even like you made me in your game before I even started playing. And I think you did a great job. But I was like, I think I can make it a little better. And I was like, how can I improve on this just based off of what I'm given? And I think that's so much fun. And then and I like the different personalities that are given based off of the things you select, because for me, like thinking about like these fictional characters that I like, I'm like, yeah, this feels like a good amount of chill for them. This feels like a decent amount of quirky. And then so far, every time the description of them has come up, it's been like right on the money. And I'm like, oh, yes. I'm like, they are that. I'm like, wait, yes. And so I think that's really fun. And seeing them all interact is really fun as well. I don't really care about the mini games that much. The like, what blurry thing is this? Or like, what is the silhouette? I like don't really care. I'm like, okay, cute. Like, I'm not mad at it. And I like that you can buy them clothes and they like it or dislike it. The food, they like it or dislike it. I haven't gotten to the point where you can design your own items, but I've seen people on Twitter making absolutely unhinged items. I can't wait because I'm already doing absolutely unhinged dialogue. So I like that. I don't know how much, like how deep it goes, but I saw when you were streaming the other day, Pat, you were like, you were like doing like paths and stuff, like you were much further than me. So it seems like there is still like a bit to build on. So I like the gameplay so far. I wonder like if it's worth the price tag for me. But the giggles I've gotten from like 2-3 hours seem worth it to me. I'm like, worth it.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Man, what you
Yeah.
think?
What do you guys think?
I just find it like so joyful, I guess. Like it makes me laugh so much. And it's just so chaotic and you just don't really know what's going to happen and there's so many different ways they can interact. I think it's a lot more fun as you add more Miis because you're like, "Oh, this one's flustered, this one's happened." You know, more is happening. I didn't really get into the decorating because I'm just kind of like not there yet. Like I like to take it a little slow and just kind of focus on what I like and then once I start to be like, "Okay, I need some more," then I start kind of going into more. But I do really like that there's so much customization. I really like being able to make your own little items, your own little pets for them and all of that stuff. It's really cool. I like yeah, whenever with the customization so far, it's just like they'll be like, "Can you put some paths here?" And I'm like, "Yep, you got it." And then they just do it. That's all I've been doing, but I kind of like that. I like that it just naturally like will do it for you kind of if you're not really focused on that. So that I think that's actually a really good feature. Um just I feel like there's so much more to this game than I really thought there was and I don't know. But at the same time, I feel like it could get a little stale if there aren't like different interactions and like I don't know, maybe you have to have a big range of personalities or a lot of me's as well to keep it interesting. Um I also think it's really cool that you get that news station and like once they once you're not there and you're not playing maybe for a few days, they'll update you on like what they've been up to, and I think it's so cute. But yeah, I don't know. I think when I'm talking about like hopefully they would have like updates and stuff, I would want them to be like now they can interact in this way or that way, that kind of stuff, because I think that's the thing that might get repetitive because it's like I put strawberry cows is one of like the phrases in the game or whatever, and then they're like, "I'm gonna go talk to him about strawberry cows," and then it like zooms in, and then it did it like a second time, and I'm like, "Okay, well, I already saw that, so it's not as funny to me." Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think you just have to like throw a lot of stuff in your game to make it have a lot of variety, and overall, I think like we're all really enjoying it, the community's really enjoying it, so that just makes me happy to see like how we've really been I don't know, pretty fed well with the games this year.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, we've had
Oh, I love it.
3 major cozy games this year, and it's only April. So yeah, there are things that are missing. Animal Crossing update.
What's okay?
Yeah.
I was like, what's the other one?
There is like a couple things missing from the original that I think the diehard fans are wanting. Like there was this thing, like a concert hall where like your Mii's would like perform songs and stuff like that. So people really want that. I think there will be an update. Like this game is gonna do crazy numbers.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to see President Snow get down. Let's sing a song. Let's go.
It was so funny because like you could literally write a song for them and then they would perform it. Oh god, it was so good.
I love it. I love it.
I want to talk about something that is, and we've already kind of touched on it a little bit, but something that is very controversial. Nintendo's decision of not being able to share any designs, any characters, any items. Like in Animal Crossing, you have your creator codes and whatever, and then some games you have QR codes. Like there's usually always a way to share. However, in Tomodachi Life, none of it is censored. Like you can type in any word and they'll say it. Like, so there's kind of a trade-off there. And I wanted to ask you guys, like, what you think about them not sharing things. And if it was up to you, would you have taken a censored version of the game with sharing or uncensored, unhinged with no sharing? Because I feel like my opinion has changed on it. But, Peyton, what you thinking?
The uncensored is just so funny. It's just so funny. Like I mean, I haven't said anything cuckoo in mine quite crazy, but I'll see TikToks of things that like I will spit out my drink. Like it's so funny. So I get it. Nintendo's like, I don't think I want to be associated with what's going on there, and that totally makes sense. I don't mind for me like the lack of sharing. Like I'm fine with, you know, making the Miis. I like it. I feel though like I've seen so many people who have like hand drawn characters and they've looked so beautiful, like so just like detailed. Like I've seen people do like anime characters and their eyes alone just have so much detail. And I feel like, oh my God, what a bummer to not be able to share those designs. Absolutely, for sure. But I can also understand why Nintendo doesn't want to be associated with some of the things that people are absolutely doing. So I don't know. I feel I'm fine with it, but I can understand like people who I can understand it because in Animal Crossing, I don't want to make the paths. Like I'm like, wow, God, I could make a path, but why would I make a path when this person has made a stunning work of art? So I feel both ways about it because I'm just like giggling so much at the unhinged, uncensored. But on the other hand, it would be cool to get other people's designs. But do you guys have any strong opinions about it? I'm kind of like wishy-washy about it.
Yeah. I mean, for me, I'm like not even at the point where I'm like decorating the outside of. I mean, I can decorate the outside of the houses, but I haven't really focused on that. Maybe I would more if there was sharing. But I think for me, it starts with the Miis and like I like creating my own Miis, but I think it would be nice if you could just download like some of your other people's Miis much easier. Like look up the character and then you find like a bunch of different ones within the game that people made. I think it would just be really really cool to see that in the game, even if you make your own, or you can upload your own there. I think that would be really really cool. I don't feel like I necessarily need those things. Like depending on how long I stick to the game. I think my bigger issue with it is just like it kind of sucks when I just want to like download the picture to show off, and it's like, isn't it restricted? So I
Yeah.
just don't even do it. So I feel like it's a game you'd want to show people. You want to be like, oh, but you have to kind of take a picture of your console most of the time, unless you're like screen recording on your computer. So I think that's just really annoying. But if I had to choose between the game being censored but having sharing, or the game being uncensored and having no sharing like it is now, I might choose that it would be able to be censored because I feel like you can kind of get around it in some ways. What if you could make the word sound like, you know, you can change it to like it sounds like this. Like could you sneak that in there somehow? Like, you know,
You
I feel
totally
like you could
could.
work
Fudging.
around it.
Yeah.
Like I've already seen people like not even putting the curse word in, and like they like change a letter out, and maybe they don't even know that it would accept it that way because they're used to like Nintendo's typical, you know,
Yeah.
family friendly kind of vibe that they want to keep. So I'm okay with how it is, but if I had the choice, I think I would be fine with that too. Like I would probably choose that just because like I like having the sharing. But I don't know.
Yeah.
What
I
about you,
mean,
Pat?
yeah, I like when I first heard about it, I was like, "Oh my God, this is like the worst decision ever." But I really do like seeing people make their own Miis. There's something charming about someone making Sabrina Carpenter and having like 20 different versions of, like, I like seeing people's creations, and like
Yeah.
so many, I think that limitation, you know, definitely makes people more creative. And like I literally,
true.
I don't even like drawing on the screen or whatever, but I literally ordered like a stylus because I was like, you know what, I'll give it a try.
They should have sold their own styluses.
They should have. There's
Yeah.
actually an official one in Japan, but I don't know why they didn't release one here. It makes no sense.
Should have.
I will say I haven't really got to the buildings yet, where you can customize the buildings and some of the other things. I feel like I would want it for that. Similar to like what Peyton was saying about patterns in Animal Crossing. I don't want to make my own paths. I don't want to make my own buildings. I like making the Miis. Like, I think the Miis are fun. That's like the whole game. But yeah, making buildings and stuff, I feel like I'm not even gonna do it because
That's where it gets too tedious.
Yeah, because you gotta make all the walls and like windows, and then when it actually goes into your game, it doesn't look great. So I wish there was kind of a mixture of both. But yeah, I'm with you guys. Well, I guess I'm with Peyton. I kind of want. I don't want it to be censored. I don't want anything to be. Literally, I tried to make a me in the actual Switch, like me maker, not in Tomodachi Life, and I made Shaggy, and I couldn't even name him Shaggy. Because shag is a bad word, I guess.
Oh, okay. So if it's that bad, yeah.
So it's like...
That's silly.
Who knows what they would have censored. So, and like,
That's
I don't know.
true.
Some people have names that are censored. And it's just like, yeah. So I think I would prefer what it is now. I think it makes lots of people more creative. And like, people are looking up like how to make so-and-so videos and things like that. So I think the way it is now is... probably the best way.
Yeah.
I
And
just
they probably thought of all this stuff too and decided this was the best way.
Yeah.
I just like staring at pictures of people zoomed in, being like, their nose kind of looks like this. Yeah, their eyes need to be closer together, actually. I just think that's fun, but some people probably hate that.
Yeah. It is really fun to make a me and have like 2 or 3 reference pictures like on the screen. That's what I did with Peyton. I was like, what do I do?
I was lurking in your stream when you made Min, and you had copied what Min had already made, and I was sitting like, if he makes a me, he has nothing to go off of because I haven't publicly played the game. And I was like, I wonder if he's gonna make me, and then you didn't in that stream, but then you did the next one, and I was doing stuff, and it was so fun to watch back because I feel like you were like, you put a picture of me on the screen and like everyone in the chat was helping, but you were like, I don't know, like you were trying to like put these lines on my face to like make my cheekbones, and you were like very dedicated and determined, and everyone in the chat was like, you're making her look old, dude.
I was like, I don't want the old.
And it was so
effect.
Funny.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. No, I thought it was sweet. I was like, he's so dedicated to these cheekbones, trying to make it right. And yeah, like when I was playing earlier today, like I said, I looked at like when I knew there was a character I had seen other people make, I was like, okay, well, what did they do? Oh, they made his hair a different color than I kind of think it is. So I was like, have like five reference pictures of like, well, in this picture, his eyes are kind of green, but in this one, they're kind of blue. So it's like, oh, this is fun. And I love that. And I feel like as you start going, I feel like your imagination starts going wild when you're instantly like, oh my God, I should make them in Tomodachi Life. Like, like I'm so excited to have more moments like that where I'll be just like watching something and then I'm like, yes, I should make the dirty bubble from SpongeBob and put him on Hot Boy Island. Absolutely. Like, you know,
sometimes you just go into
like
your
that.
store and you see like a cape or something and you're like, oh my God, I need to make this person. Like,
yeah. I saw little leaves that like little leaf sprouts on the head, and I'm like, Pikmin, I need to do a Pikmin now.
Oh, I love that. I love it.
We actually asked you guys what you thought of Tomodachi Life, but before we get to that, like, would you guys recommend people buying this? Like, I know we kind of talked it up and we're enjoying it. It is $60. It is on Switch. A lot of people have Switch. It's not Switch 2 exclusive. I know some people I saw online were like, oh my God, do I really get a Switch 2 for this? It is on Switch. $60. Would you recommend this? Or I think, like, who is this for? What type of person would enjoy this? I'll start with men here.
I think it's for everyone. I feel like this is going to be a staple game that you need to like get for your Switch. I mean, maybe that's a hot take, but I feel like it's so chaotic. It's so funny. You can totally customize it to you, like however chaotic you want it to be, how calm you want it to be, who you put in the game, like what you create. And I feel like everybody would get some enjoyment out of this game. So I think I do recommend it, and I think everybody could enjoy it to some point. I mean, $60, I feel like it's hard to say, is it worth that? I mean, because that's individual to you. I feel like at the same time, I'm just like, well, that's a typical price of games on Nintendo Switch, and it has been for a long time. So I'm glad it's not 70 or 80, but yeah, I feel to me it was worth the $60.
Okay. Peyton?
Yeah. I mean, I think my inclination is to recommend this for the fan fiction lovers, for the little freaks, but also everybody. You could play this wholesome, but you could also play it not. And I think that's fun. I mean, for me, this is how I'm justifying the $60. I'm like, this game is like, there's this like expensive smoothie place. Sometimes I'll get a smoothie. This is the thing. I'll get a smoothie.
How
an
expensive? What are we talking?
$50. It's smoothie, iced coffee, sandwich,
Oh
bag of
my
chips.
God, I thought it was just for
$50.
a smoothie. That's pretty
No,
expensive,
no, that's a lot. That's expensive. That's like my fancy smoothie. That's like if I want to be fancy one day. So in my head, I'm like, this is what, $10 more than the fancy smoothie? Like, I'm fine with it. I'm cool with it. But I don't know if you're comparing it to like Animal Crossing. I don't think you're gonna get as many hours, but I don't know. Like, I haven't hit all of the cutscenes, all the interactions. I haven't maxed out the amount of Miis I could make. So I'm interested to keep going to see like how much enjoyment you can get out of it, but I feel like I can see the potential to get enough for myself. Comparing it to other games that I've paid full price for that are like only a couple hours long, I feel like this is definitely going to be more than that. But I think that this is a very creative, focused game. So I don't know that everyone would enjoy this. Like, we have a whole camp of people who, like, when we talk about Animal Crossing, they're like, I don't really love Animal Crossing New Horizons because it's mostly about decorating. Like, I wish there was more to do. I think this is like, there's things to do. Like, you can interact with the Miis. But I do still feel like it's mostly like creativity forward. So I would think about that if you're on the fence with the game. I would recommend, like, the good thing about this one is like you can like not really spoil things in a way. Like, you could see like some of the cutscenes and stuff, but if you watch Min's playthrough, it's gonna be completely different than like what's going on with Pat's playthrough because of the different characters that they're making. So this is one that I'm like, oh, definitely, like, if you're on the fence, go watch them play it to kind of see what the real-time interaction is like. And yeah, I think it'll be interesting to see going forward, like, updates, and as like the seasons change, as holidays happen, will there be stuff in the game? I hope so. So yeah, but for me, it's worth it.
Yeah.
What do you think, Pat?
Yeah, I think the $60, I mean, kind of like what Min said, like, that's kind of what you're paying for when it comes to Nintendo. I mean, there's some exceptions. You have like Rhythm Heaven that's coming out later this year. I think it's 40 or 50, something like that. Yeah, I mean, the quality is there. Like, it's so fun. It's so enjoyable. Like, every time I play, I'm just like smiling, enjoying myself. The gameplay loop also is very addicting too, because like your Miis have like thoughts above their head, and you like do little tasks for them, and then you get like happy, what is it called? Fuzzies?
Warm fuzzies.
Warm fuzzies. You take those warm fuzzies to your fountain in the center of your town, and then your town rank levels up, and then every level up you unlock something. The gameplay loop is very fun. I will say though, huge asterisk, it's user generated content. You gotta make your own Miis. You gotta make, like, you are the game essentially. So there's a lot of pressure on the player to make the game like enjoyable. Like, I could see people buying this and not enjoying it because they're just not as creative, or like they don't know, they don't like trust their drawing skills. I will say I'm not the best drawer, and like it's just fun to like make a character that somewhat looks like what you're going for. So
yeah.
I
feel like you can't go for perfection.
No.
I mean, if you want to, of course. I think I have fun trying to make it as accurate as possible, but I also love seeing like clips from other people's streams, and they're like zooming in on like who they made, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they look crazy. And that's like the whole thing of the game. Like that's the charm of the game, is that they kind of look cursed, and like it's just funnier.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, so like you do have to create your own things, and I will say this game is best enjoyed, like we were saying before, 30, 40, maybe 50 minutes at a time, and then just kind of closing it, going back the next day, and just like doing a little something, checking in on the Miis. Because like I could see someone burning themselves out, and actually a lot of the reviews, I was kind of worried. This game is sitting at a 78 right now on Metacritic, which I think is decent. But like there were some like low reviews, and people were like, oh my God, it's so repetitive. And then you read their review and they're like, oh, I played it 10 hours a day for 3 days. And it's like, well, there you go. So, yeah, I think you could burn yourself out. But let's hear what you guys think over on Patreon, which, by the way, you can join for free and just every week vote in the poll or leave a little comment on our discussions. We said, Patreon, we want to know all of your thoughts on the recently released Tomodachi Life Living the Dream. Have you been playing it? What are your thoughts after seeing streams, reviews, and more? Is this game cozy? Let us know your thoughts, and we will read them on the show. So let's read some. Carmi Lou says, I'm watching streams and I'm still unsure, so I got the demo to explore further. But right now, as it seems more fun to watch, maybe, and short-term fun to play, but not long-term like I'm currently feeling about Pokopia and already played for hours and can see me playing many, many more. So we'll see. Yeah, man, if someone said like, hey, I can only get one of these, Pokopia or Tomodachi Life, I think that answer is pretty easy.
It's hard to
Min
say
loves
because
Tomodachi
I
Life.
literally like it so much, but than I thought I would. And I kind of felt like it actually came at the perfect time for me because I was starting to like get a little overwhelmed with Pokopia, and I already played hundreds of hours that I felt like it was like, that's good. I played my money's worth is how it felt.
Yep.
So I'm ready to move on to this game. I feel like they're really not even like comparable though. I feel like they're so different, and like they have their own things that make them really special, and they're both amazing games. So I think it would be more of like they need to go look into which one fits them better. But I feel like at the end of the day, both of them are great pickups. So whichever one they would go with, and that is the nice answer that Pat did not want. He wanted me to pick one.
No, I just wanted to know. They are very different. Like one is very.
Well, what is your answer? You've also played 8 billion million hours.
Mine's Pokopia by a mile.
Yeah.
Should we have a debate right now?
I think Tomodachi Life is like the mozzarella sticks, you know? And Pokopia is the pizza.
Okay, well, some people would argue that mozzarella sticks are better than pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't disagree that, like, you know, it's obvious that Pokopia would be the one more people recommend. It obviously has better reviews, too, and maybe more longevity, but I feel like it just kind of depends on what you're looking for. I feel like they should get both. I just feel like they should get both.
Yeah,
they should get 2 fancy smoothie orders.
If you can get both, get both. It kind of depends what you want. Do you want to play like short sessions and, you know, make a goofy little world, or do you literally want to craft a world and like, are you a Pokemon fan?
Coming off of Pokopia and jumping into this, I feel like it was like really refreshing because I was getting to a point in Pokopia where I was done the story. I had no more really like guidance of like what to do. So I get to this point like that I feel in Animal Crossing where I'm like, oh, now I have to build and I have to create and I have to like figure out what I'm building up this world to be. And like at first I found that easy in Pokopia, and then I started feeling like it was getting like hard for me. Like I was having a blocked mindset on that. And then I like jumped into Tomodachi Life, and I'm like, oh, well, if I come up with somebody I want to create, put them in the game, and then they're like, oh, I need this, I need that. And so it was nice because it was more like, oh, here's the quests, here's the things that I felt like I had already finished in the other game, and like I was just ready for that again. So
Maglomanic said, I pre-ordered a physical copy of Tomodachi Life. I would definitely say it's cozy, but honestly, it might be a little too simple for me so far. I think I have to look at it as a game that I'll pick up every day for 30 to 60 minutes, and then I need to put it down. But my young kids love watching me play, so they won't let me quit. I did redecorate my whole island once so far. I made myself, my husband, our cat, both our moms, my best friend, and 2 coworker best friends. My plan is to make more. My plan is to also make all of my favorite YouTubers to have another theme going. So I'll make Hot Payton per her demands. Adorable Min, Fancy Pants Pat, and a bunch of other favorite gaming folks. So I'll let you know if you get any fun shenanigans on my island. I was going to mention it kind of works as an idle game too. I just leave the game up for my kids to watch the characters walking around. I agree with that. Yeah. The idleness.
I know.
of
That's
it.
literally what you were saying to a T. The 30 to 60 minutes, the idle game.
Yep.
I appreciate you making me hot in your game. Thank you so much.
I know.
Pat's first idle game.
The only idle game I like. It's amazing.
Oh,
I just don't use games as like tools like other people do. I mean, it works for other people. Like if they're at work or studying or whatever, I could see it, but
yeah.
Trish, I have a bit of buyer's remorse with this game.
Oh no.
That is partially because Luke Skywalker won't stop playing the maracas, and partially because I'm seeing the same dialogue over and over and have helped people stop hiccuping 30 times. I'm back to say that me and Luke Skywalker are in love, so I gave her some maracas, and I guess I'm back in.
yeah. Let's go.
So funny.
You gotta add a ton of me's. There is a limit of 70, which I don't see myself hitting right now, but some people online have hit that, and they're like, I want more.
What am I gonna do with that many people? Like, what?
Well, the old game had like 100, I think.
I didn't play the older game that much. I liked it, but it's not like...
Yeah.
It's gonna start as Hot Boy Island, and then I'm gonna be making like fugglers and stuff. It's gonna get weird, man. Like, I love it. I'm pumped.
I think that like when I heard that it was 70, I'm like, that's kind of a weird number. And I was wondering if there's going to be a Switch 2 upgrade that ups it to like 100 or 80, and then gives us mouse mode, because I really would like mouse mode.
Yeah, there was some rumor of a Switch 2 version. I could see that. Yeah, I could see that.
But that was just my complete speculation on that. I don't know.
Yeah. I will say the performance on Switch, like, it's fine because of the type of game it is, but certain things, the frame rate is pretty bad. Like, some of the dream sequences or, like, some cutscenes that play out are, like, sometimes in single-digit frame rate. But I think it's mostly fine. Like, it's not, like, a shooter or whatever. Zay says, I think it's cozy and I'm currently enjoying it, but I worry it'll become stale and boring quickly. I'm not sure it's going to be the sort of game people play for hundreds of hours like Pokopia, but maybe it will be.
Yeah. I see Kussa has said, as Peyton would say, love that this is here for those of you who love it. It just doesn't seem like something I'm interested. I'm too deep in Pokopia still for much to drag me away. I think because this game is real-time clock, I don't know if you have to like run to get this. I mean, like, you guys said you think the hype is gonna die down on this one, but I feel like, I don't know, maybe because it's real-time clock that I'm like, all right, play Pokopia for a little bit. Like, you can get this later. Like, I don't know that you need it now.
I'm just wondering, like if someone buys this in a month or two, can they get... They're probably going to have to wait another year to get, like, the Cherry Blossom stuff.
That's a good
Because
point.
you said there's no time hopping. So what happens if you time hop?
I'm pretty
Is
sure
it-
like your game just doesn't update.
Move.
Oh.
So it registers
open
the
your
season
Switch
based
right
on what
now.
your
No.
Switch was at. Is that what?
What'd you say?
Like, does it start in the season that your Switch is in? Is that basically what it does?
I have not tried it and I haven't seen people try it, but from what I've heard, it like literally just stops your stores from updating. Like no villagers will have
okay.
any requests or anything. But someone said it also resets after 24 hours. So I don't know if I could time travel to fall and then it's just messed up for 24 hours and then it fixes itself. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I would not recommend doing it.
For science, let's find out right now. No, I'm kidding.
Science project.
Thanks.
Pat, you messed my game up.
Yep.
Kate said, I've had a lot of fun with it so far. It's consumed me quite a bit. I even created Min a pet. Story of Season Strawberry Cow.
Aw, Kate.
Although it can be a bit repetitive, I'm hoping they'll add more content to the game that will keep me hooked, like the 3DS game did.
Yeah, Kate is a huge fan of the first game. Like, so many hours. So this is something they've been waiting for a long time. I think that there's like a lot of players who are just like obsessed with that first game and this is like their thing, you know.
Do you guys like being in other people's games? Does it freak you out? Or are you
I'm
into it?
okay with it now that it's out. I was a little scared. I'm like, what am I gonna do? But now it's kind of funny because they're like, Min got mad at someone, or like seeing what they made their me look like and how they like perceive me is so interesting to me. Like how pink they make my hair versus like if they don't at all. And I don't know. Just it's funny to see like what they make.
I think it's funny. I
like
just
it.
can't think about it too much because, like, I don't know. You can like kind of make it so only like certain Mii's talk to each other and stuff, but I don't know. If someone
You
wants
worried about falling in love with like Brewster?
whatever you want to do. Whatever you want to do. Yeah. You
What's
guys
the
are friends
word?
in my game.
I mean, of course.
What if we wanted to fall in love with someone in your game? What would you do?
Oh, I'd let it happen.
Okay, well, what if one of us falls in love with your me? Do we have to call HR?
I'd probably veto that just because I want to see what other characters you guys would want.
You
to,
said probably there, so you're not sure.
I might veto it. It depends.
Just
Depends how good
He's
his
like,
game
actually,
is.
it depends which one of you it is. Then we'll see it happen.
I also don't want to turn the stream on and I'm living with Min, like 4 kids. Like I don't know.
I'm dead.
So it seems like it's pretty mixed. I feel like people
Yeah.
like the idea. A lot of people have been saying like, you know what? The game is cute. I think I'm more of a viewer than a player.
Yeah,
And-
and I think
Yeah.
we talked about that too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is a fun game to watch people play. Even if it's just like, I've been seeing so many like short clips on TikTok of people like have never even seen like make these crazy. The amount of TikToks I've been fed of different people having Elphaba and Glinda from Wicked become roommates is like a staggering amount. And I'm like, wow, the algorithm knows me. And I think that's fun. I'm like, oh, and then like seeing people make things and I'm like, oh my God, I would have never have thought to make that person. Like now I'm like, oh, I kind of want to make them too.
Yeah.
I think it's fun.
Yeah, I think what we should do is we should have an update next week how we're feeling because I feel like the game's going to change a lot because I've like just started getting more decorative things. I haven't really started decorating, but like I've been putting paths down so that it connects to all the houses that are jumping on there. But yeah, I think we should revisit it and maybe even ask them again. Like, what are your updated thoughts? So
Yeah.
All right. So when we get back, we're going to open our email vaults and also check out a new Kickstarter. More on that right after this.
We're back, and we are talking about a Kickstarter game that I just saw today, which we're recording this on a Monday. So hopefully you have or haven't heard of it. I mean, I would be happy to be the one, introducing you to this. But I just saw this on socials and they just launched a Kickstarter. It's going until May 14th, 2026. It's an all or nothing Kickstarter, meaning that the project will only be funded if it reaches its goal by Thursday, May 14th at 11 a.m. So they have $22,000 raised so far, and the game is called Silicone Heart. It is a cyber farming sim where you fix robots, grow techno plants, automate farm, and rebuild life on a junkyard planet. And you might have said, well, I feel like I've heard of games like this, cyberpunk, whatever. This one grabbed my eye because it is pixel art, which I know a lot of people probably like aren't into the pixel art, but I am. So that's like the first thing that kind of drew me to it. It just looks really, really interesting. And I would be curious to see if it does get funded, like how it would change and grow. Um, so far, it seems like you kind of play as this, um, you know, you like do the RPG element and you play as this guy in the game. And I wondered if like it does get funded, maybe there would be like, you know, more customization and so forth. The story of the game is that there's a planet at the edge of civilized space that no one visits on purpose. It exists purely to receive what the rest of the universe no longer wants. For decades, ships have been arriving there to dump obsolete robots, failed industrial systems, and dismantled machines. Entire production lines have been thrown from orbit and left to crash into mountains of scrap. What was once considered progress has slowly accumulated into metallic ecosystem of its own. And they have like a lot of details about the story and what it's all gonna be like. So definitely check out the Kickstarter. But yeah, what are your first impressions of this guy as you guys look at it for the first time? And like, is this different enough? Is this look good so far? And keeping in mind too that like what this looks like now, if it gets fully funded, can look so different once it actually gets funding. Um, so yeah.
I feel like Pat's about to eat this up.
You think so? Why?
I don't know. I think there's something about like, so I don't know, like there's something about this like abandoned little robot diner and this like abandoned little almost like robot amusement park like feeling that I feel like you'll just vibe with. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're like, I hate this actually.
I mean, I'm watching the trailer. I'm kind of like, this is the first time I'm seeing it. I will say the animation of the walking is goofy as hell. Like they gotta update it. Maybe it's a placeholder or whatever.
Yeah.
So we really think like this doesn't get funded. It's put in the bin.
That's what's supposed to happen for Kickstarter. Always. Like it's supposed, but I don't know that it always does. So here's what I think happens with
like,
this type of
years of development and assets, and there's a game here.
What happens is, okay, so they're asking for how many dollars? They're asking for $59,952. There's currently 22,708. If this ended today and they only made that $22,000, they wouldn't get to keep that $22,000.
Yeah.
So it would be refunded to all the people who've backed the project. That's not to say that they can't continue developing the game. They can continue to develop the game. They're just obviously not going to get that backing. So I think by all or nothing, it's not like we're scrapping the game. It's a,
This
oh,
pushes
if you back
the timeline way back. Kind of
well, yeah, for sure. It's not, I can't imagine like being like putting the game in the can. Like, I don't think that's what it is, but I think it's like this is what they need to continue their development, and yeah, you would get refunded if you backed and they didn't hit that amount.
Mm-hmm. I mean, there's a lot here. There's like RPG, like turn-based RPG elements. The world is definitely very unique. Like, there's just a lot going on. There's a lot going on. I am interested. Not enough to, I think, back it. What's up?
Not eat this up.
Okay, so I was looking at like the the different, what are they called, packages like that you can back.
You're scaring me.
Yeah.
The bundles, I guess. And I looked at, they don't have anybody who funded the 2500 one or the 3500 one, but the 1250 one is backed by the Creativo logo, which is the the publisher who published Rutsupacha originally. What are they doing? What's that one called now? That used to be Farm
Autonomica?
Folks. Yeah, they've been in like lots of weird controversies with cozy games. Not to say they're bad overall, but I just always keep my eye out for them. And then I saw I like looked this game up on Steam, and they're under backed by backers, crowdfunded projects by you, and it's held by Creativo. So maybe they're publishing it. Let me see. Yeah, they're publishing it. So
Yeah.
this doesn't seem like it's gonna just go anywhere.
I mean, there's Creativo has published some good games though, but yeah, that's
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
Isn't Two Pixelia one of them? Too?
I think
it
so.
was. Yeah.
I just
think
have heard
so.
that they're like sometimes not the best for like new devs to work with. So I
Yeah.
just always worry. But I'm hoping that that's not how it is anymore, and that hopefully they've learned from different things that they've been through too. But
I mean, there's
I don't know,
23
just thought
days
that
to
was interesting.
go. It's a little less than it's less than half. It'll probably get funded. Like there's already some stretch goals too. There's a robo
Dating.
date system, yeah. Automatic farm
the
upgrade,
reason.
which I don't have interest in. Like automation in games, I'm just realizing that I don't want. Like I like sprinklers, but that's
I was gonna say you don't like a sprinkler. That's
like
literally what I was
sprinklers.
just gonna say.
Biomechanical creatures, it turns a bunny into a robot.
I saw the robot bunny in the trailer. This is the kind of trailer that like the first 5 seconds I was like, I'm not gonna really care. But then as it keeps going, I'm like, wait, actually it looks pretty cool. I don't
It's a
know.
good trailer.
I gotta like there's gotta be something special and different about these games that are kind of like robotic, spacey for me to be interested in. And this one I am, because there's like a lot of really weird things. Like there is like this concert moment that is happening. The NPCs look cool. I like all these like abandoned I like this abandoned monkey thing that's happening. I don't really know what that is, but I like it. I like the mustached man. If I have to play as the mustached man, I like him. He's cute. Whatever. There's cute little. Why are the geese in conveyor belts? Are they okay?
There's a lot
Yes.
of weird automation. There's like people on
And weird
hamster wheels and
creatures.
stuff.
As long as they're okay, I think they're just taking just petting the geese, the ducks, whatever they are.
My question to you guys is, does this look too ambitious? Like there's too much in this trailer that you're like almost overwhelmed maybe as a player when it comes out, because it's like, oh my gosh, there's this, there's that, there's combat, there's fishing, and it's not like the typical, it doesn't look to me like a typical farming sim, because it has all this robotic stuff too, that it seems like it just has a lot.
Yeah, you're definitely going to need to watch this trailer about 15 times to really like know what's going on. I will say like, yeah, I'm kind of with you. Like the world to me anyway doesn't look like a satisfying cozy game. There's like almost too much going on, and like the plants are like weird scrap things and robot things. Now I'm not like dismissing this game altogether. I'm just saying I don't really dig automation in these kinds of games, and like this setting is not usually a setting I gravitate towards, but like I do think it looks very ambitious.
Yeah. I feel like it's not too much, because I think, in my opinion, I'm bored of
that's
like
better.
I'm bored of the same old. Give me more. Like I want more. Like I'm tired of just, oh, here's my farm, here's my fish, space.
How are you with
machines.
automation in games though?
I haven't played as much as like Min played like Little Rocket Lab. But I like the idea of it. Like as long as it can be still like cute and aesthetic, and it's not too like cold and mechanical, I think I still like it. So I think this one has like a nice little balance, because I think it's still cute looking. Even the machines like don't look I don't know, they're like vibrant and fun at least. So I think it depends on like how intense it gets, but I don't know. I think it looks cool. Like the world, I think looks pretty cool. It seems like there's some lore. I hope they hit that stretch goal about the dating because I like that, but it doesn't need that, I guess. I don't know. I feel like Sam might want to date. That's the main guy's name. Sam, I feel like might want to romance the robots, and I want that for him.
Yeah, I think it definitely, to me, looks different enough, but familiar enough that it stood out to me. Do you feel like this is doing something different enough that it's like going to be interesting to people, like when they see?
I think so. I mean, at the bottom they're like, why Kickstarter, and they basically say like, we want to up the scope of this game, so like not really like a tiny little farm sim. They want it to be much more, which could be a good or a bad thing, but I think there's enough here. Like there's combat, there's turn-based combat, which I like some combat in some cozy games instead of just like planting and going to bed and like all that stuff. Like I do like that too, but yeah, I think it's definitely something different.
Yeah. Yeah, and I did want to say, so it did start pre-production in 2024. January 2025 was like the actual development starting. So only the beginning of this year was like the true development portion. Now we're in April where the Kickstarter is launched. August they're doing alpha access. February of 2027 they're doing beta, and they're aiming for a November 2027 release. Do you feel like this can happen?
We'll see you at
And I
PAX.
don't see early access. I see alpha and beta.
What PAX?
So-
What PAX West or PAX East next year?
I would assume like a PAX East. I think they can hit it. I mean, listen, like
Yeah.
this looks like done. I mean, a lot of the backer or like the stretch goal stuff is probably done as well. Like
It just needs polished on some of the art, I think.
it does
and
need
like
some
the
polish.
portraits, obviously. But that's like what you expect from a game that's just starting a Kickstarter.
I don't like the animation at all of the walking. I think it's bad.
Well,
but
I mean, you have to think back. If you go look at old Coral Island Kickstarter and stuff, they look so different.
Even
So-
old Stardew was pretty rough.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm interested to see where it goes, but
Cool.
Yeah,
Me too.
me too.
Silicone
so
Heart.
that-
Jinx.
Yeah, that is Silicone Heart, and it's on Kickstarter. We'll be sure to link that in the show notes. We do have an email as well. To
It's
end off
Min's
this
mail time.
segment. It's
Has
a little
been
mini
renewed.
Min's mail. Okay, so this one says, "Hi, Pat, Min, and Peyton. Firstly, love your guys' show. I look forward to listening to each and every one. In a past episode, you guys discussed how, as creators, you have to keep up with all the new games, and how talking about older games isn't great for views, engagement. I know Peyton has discussed feeling some burnout of having to keep up with the fast pace, as well as sheer volume of video game releases and the pressures of being a content creator. As a consumer, I wanted to offer a view, maybe it's a hot take, that I would actually love to hear you guys talk about older games. I do appreciate hearing about new releases, but I'd love if you guys revisited releases from several years back that you still enjoy playing or are just playing for the first time. There are games I've just discovered that are older releases, but I can't find any recent videos or content on because they came out 2 years ago. But I want to hear recent discussions about. Anyway, it's just a thought. Hannah, what are your thoughts on this? And we can go to you first, Peyton. Because I feel like this is something you have kind of always done with your channel too, or like all of us have in some way brought back old games, whether we do like a player pass of what we've been playing. We don't tend to maybe do that so much on the podcast because I think, we kind of had the monthly game that we played together. The side quests kind of did that. But yeah, we definitely do bring up old games, but maybe not super in depth.
Mm-hmm.
But what are your like overview thoughts on this? Take?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely think that this was a problem for me for sure. I think that as I started covering cozy games, I felt the pressure of like being the first look girl and like, oh gosh, I have to just keep moving on because this is all that people want to see. And I ended up just like not liking that anymore. And it like started this whole like downward spiral for me of like, I don't know if I'm liking anything anymore gaming wise. So I feel like that's when I started to try to, yeah, like bring back some like older games. And by older, like still newer games, just not like brand new. So I ended up like revisiting Echoes of the Plum Grove again and Cult of the Lamb again. And I really enjoyed that. And it actually was very surprising for me, like as a creator, that those streams like ended up doing pretty good. And it kind of became, I mean, in the example of like Echoes of the Plum Grove, it was like, you're the only one streaming it, Peyton, and I love this game. And so that was kind of nice to be able to provide like, not that I'm the only person that's ever played it, but just like I was someone who was playing it like consistently at a time and people were like, yeah, okay, I could watch her for this. That's so nice because I've had games like that too, like where I'm like, oh, I really want to see people like play Moonstone Island and like there wasn't a lot of people streaming
Yeah.
it. So I do think there is so much that can be rewarding about showcasing older games. I'm interested to hear like what you guys think because you guys do this full time and it's really it can be difficult I think to do the balance of like what you want to play but also like what you think people are going to be interested in and also, like being someone that covers new cozy game releases, like how do you do that balance? I like didn't do it well and I'm like not really posting on my channel these days. I'm just kind of playing the new games for the podcast at this point because it got to a point where I was like, "Oh, I don't know how to do this balance for myself right now." So, I'm more curious to hear what you guys have to think about it because I think it can be difficult even for the people who aren't content creators who are just fans of cozy games feeling like, "Oh, can I not play Coral Island anymore because now like Pocopia's out and I want to play that." Like, how do you manage what's new while still enjoying like older things?
Yeah, YouTube is brutal when it comes to like being relevant and like talking about relevant things. Like if I made a tips and tricks video for My Sims Cozy Bundle right now, dude, that's getting nothing, And like maybe I like My Sims and I want to play it. Like there are different video formats that you can get away with stuff like cozy games I've been enjoying lately and like have My Sims in the list or something. But yeah, and I get it. It's very frustrating for people that are maybe just picking up Moonlighter 1 for the first time and they want to hear updated thoughts on it. You're probably not going to find it like unless someone does like a big like retrospective, yeah, you kind of have to stay current. And that's why like some people, are like, should I buy this game or not? Like Tomodachi Life, perfect example. You might want to buy it because the conversation is happening right now. The hype is happening right now. You're seeing posts on social media and reviews and tips and tricks right now. In a couple months, you might not see that. So yeah, if you're making content, you have to stay relevant or you have to talk about relevant things because it punishes you if you don't. Like, I think streams, you can get away with it. Streams are fine. You can stream anything you want. But like, I think video content, it's tough to talk about stuff that's not, unless it has an update or something like that. But like, so I stay away from it personally.
Yeah. I have so many thoughts on it, especially as like I transitioned into being a full-time creator. Like I have to think about it in a certain way, but I also kind of resist it in a way. Like I'm like I don't want to just make a video on this game because it's popular right now.
Yeah.
Like I also have to have that feeling of like I want to do it, and sometimes it takes a little push of like, "Hey, man, I would love to see a video of you on that." Like one of my mods told me, "Hey, make a video on this." And I was like, or like they gave me an idea of like of something related to Heartopia, and I was like, should I though? Like, because everyone's doing that, and like you get this little bit of pressure of like, oh my gosh, but then you're like, well, yeah, like, sometimes it is good to do that. So I think it can be hard in like more ways than when a game is popular. It can be hard to like for me to like make it and feel like, am I just doing this for the views? And I don't want it to feel like that because I got into this because I loved making videos. But I think like Hannah said, like there are people who really love to hear us talk about older games, see us playing older games, revisiting older releases and continuing to play them because like it just makes me think like and when Peyton was talking, I'm thinking, yeah, people are playing Tomodachi Life 6 months after it releases, but now no one's maybe talking about it on YouTube or like streaming it on Twitch because it's not trending. And, it's hard because as a creator, if it's not trending, but you're playing it, there's kind of like less of an opportunity that people are going to tune in, I guess. So it makes you feel a little nervous to like maybe lose any momentum you have, especially in the streaming space because it's so up and down with what people want to watch and what they want to see. They might see you play a game once and that's all they want, and then they might see you play a game 5 times a week for like ever and that's all they want. So it's just hard to like keep yourself steady without having all these like voices of like what do people want? What do I want? What's good to make? So I think it's yeah, but I think that we should as a podcast to bring up the older games maybe more. I think we do. Like we'll be like, "Oh yeah, that was like Field of Mist, that was like Moonstone Island or that," and those aren't even like technically old games, but we try to bring up games we have played. I still do play games that are older or I have had in my library and haven't played in a while. Sometimes because I'm into the newer games, I'm not as maybe on top of it, like actually playing it. Like I've been trying to get through Coffee Talk 2 for months now, and I just keep dropping it because I'm like, oh, I got to focus on this or that. And so, um, yeah, but at the same time, and last thing, I just feel like it's so nice to have a year in the cozy gaming space where things are moving like steady with like new games releasing. And like a lot of times last year I would be making videos on like, oh, these are the top 10 games you should get because you had to kind of talk about older games because there wasn't really much going on a lot of portions of the year. So I think yeah, I don't know. It was a good thought and a good thing to like
Yeah.
for us to hear too. I
There's
think
ways to do it. Like like my favorite narrative cozy games. Like I'm sure a video could exist like that, but yeah, it's just you got to be in the moment for these releases, unfortunately. And like sometimes there's so many. I mean, like going from $70 Pokopia to $60 Tomodachi Life, that's tough. That's tough.
But that would be a fun segment on our podcast of like our favorite narrative games or our favorite farming games or our favorite decorating games to like bring up old games. So
Yeah,
Oh, we could definitely do that.
for sure.
all right, well, we have more emails for you at Peyton's Parcels Post right after this.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you so much for listening to the Slow Burn Podcast, Season 4, Episode 3. We're trying to clear out this email inbox, and we are in desperate need. We are begging you, pleading with you. Please send us some more emails if you want us to read your message on the show, whether it's I think we do tend to prefer when they're full questions, but we also love a hot take as well, a debate. Was that last week when we were talking about chopping
The
vegetables?
Open World. Oh,
Open
wait.
world, and
That was
then
a good one.
vegetable chopping.
Yeah. Last week.
So, yes, send us your emails
Make us
to
fight.
slow violence on the podcast. Send us your emails to slowburncast@gmail.com. We've got 2 more emails as part of the Peyton's Parcels, Peyton's Post, Pepe something segment of the show. The first one is coming from Sammy. Dear Min, Peyton, and Pat, I've been listening to your podcast and been enjoying it so much. Parentheses, makes doing chores much more tolerable. After all this time, I finally thought of a question that I can ask. I think this may have been briefly discussed in a previous episode, but would you rather have a developer continue to update one game for many years or make a sequel? Such as games with Moonlighter, Hades, Slime Rancher, Power Wash Simulator, and the newly announced Graveyard Keeper 2. Or another way to ask is whether you would have a developer continue to make more endgame content or have a new game with a new mechanic/story. Thank you so much for reading and keep up the great work. Smiley face, sincerely, Sammy. Sammy, thank you so much for this question. This is a great question. We touched on this. I don't remember if it was last episode or the episode before when we were talking about Graveyard Keeper 2 being newly announced. And we have mentioned on the show in the past, I remember we talked about Paleo Pines, like them doing a big update to the game. And I remember Pat specifically was like, they should just make a new game versus like other times where we want a game to just keep being updated. So let's talk about it. What are your thoughts? Are there like clear guidelines for you of when you prefer a game to be continuously updated versus when you think it's time to tie a bow on the game and let's just make a sequel? What do you think?
Yeah, I have strong feelings about this. I think it depends on the type of game and how much time has passed since that game has come out without updates or whatever. So like Pokopia. I don't want to see another new Pokopia game for like 4 or 5 years. I want this one to get updated. It's great.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to continue to make my world. I want new items. I want new Pokemon. Like, there's a reason not every Pokemon is in Pokopia. Like, they're gonna eventually all come in there. But like a game like, yeah, Paleo Pines, where it's like kind of story driven. It is a farming game, so like you can continue to play it, I guess. I feel like most of the people are kind of out on that kind of game, you know, like something like, yeah, like Moonlighter, I think was a great game to get a new game just because it's kind of old at this point, and like doing an update for that would be kind of weird. Cult of the Lamb is still relevant, and that got a great update. You loved it, Peyton, but like I was kind of like, why not just make a new game? So yeah, I think it really depends on the game. If it's more of like open-ended and like people are still playing the game, yeah, I want more content. But if it's like story-driven or a game that I'm just kind of done with, then no, I don't want an update to it. I'd rather just have like a new game, or if there is going to be an update, it better be like a beefy one that's almost like a new game. So for me, it really depends on what type of game we're talking about.
Yeah. I think it definitely depends. But I'm thinking of like more open-ended games I want more longevity with for longer periods of time. So I would want the developer to continue with more content, more end game stuff, more updates. Although I've definitely said on the show before, like sometimes I'm overwhelmed with updates to games that I want to play, but I'm not playing. And I'm like, I kind of wrapped up with. I feel like it's a little different when I'm thinking of games that like I really enjoy. Like if I'm thinking of Fields of Mystria, like yeah, I want them to keep going with that game. I want it to have like Stardew level. You know, I don't think it will ever get that big, maybe, but like I want it to have Stardew updates. Like Stardew's continued to develop that one, but they're also making a second game. So I feel like you can kind of get the best of both worlds. But I think mainly I would like games to continue to be updated at this point. But I am also okay with a new game, depending on like how I played the previous game. Like for me, with Cult of the Lamb as an example, I might have actually played the Woolhaven sooner because I haven't yet, but it's like on my list. If it was a second game, like if it was a new game.
Yep.
So sometimes I think a new game maybe incentivizes me more to like, ooh, let me actually like try that one out. Where if it's a game that I haven't really played yet, or like with not Moonlight and Garland, but Moonstone Island, I feel like I'm excited that they're making kind of a spin-off of their first game, like a second game, because I felt like I was kind of like at a place where I don't think I was gonna go back to Moonlight. Why am I calling it that? Moon.
So many names
There's
that
so
are
many
similar.
Moon games, yeah. Moonstone Island again. So I felt like, yeah, new game. I'm looking forward to that now. So, yeah.
Like unpacking. You would want a new game at this point. I mean,
yeah, unless it was continuing the same narrative of that particular character.
Mm-hmm.
But I think there's been such a gap
yeah.
that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, it has to do with the content of the game, because it's like, for me, as a Cult of the Lamb super fan, I don't think, had Woolhaven been not a DLC and been like a standalone game, it would be just the exact same game, just with, that update specifically expanded on the lore of like why the game started in the first place, is a little bit of like a prequel, is like a, where did all the lambs go? Why are you the last lamb?
Mm-hmm.
So I think that lore is good, as well as it introduced this whole winter mechanic, which is really cool. But other than that, the game is still the exact same. So if they were to have just made it that, then I would be like, why did I need to buy this game just to do the exact same thing over again? Like, there's too much of it that would have been the same. There wasn't enough new content for it to be its own thing. Of course, if they were planning to make it its own game, I'm sure they would have made like tons of other things. But I think that when things are too similar, there's no point. So it's like, for Stardew Valley, there have been massive content updates, and they've all been great. Haunted Chocolatier is going to be a completely separate game. Why? Because it's set in presumably, what we know about it, it's set in an entirely different world with entirely different main gameplay mechanics. Yes, certain things will overlap, like farming and presumably fishing, and basic combat will probably be the same. But content-wise, it feels like it's going to deviate from the game significantly. So for me, I feel like that's what I'm looking for. Like, same thing with Moonstone Island with Moonstone Academy. I'm hoping that because of the different setting and the mechanic of being in a university rather than just like being out in the town, that there'll be different enough things that if they have the same spirits, which I think they might probably do, if they have the same deck building mechanic, which I think makes sense to do, there would be enough extra where it wouldn't just feel like, oh, I'm just playing Moonstone Island with a little bit extra. So I think for me, that's what I want. I want it to feel like different enough, but I also understand too, the like logistical side of it. When it's been so long, there would be more hype if it's like, oh, it's a new game, because then people who might be on the fence or maybe haven't played whatever the original game is in a while, it might be easier to jump in. Like when we were talking about Graveyard Keeper the other episode, and we were talking about like, we weren't sure how different this one was going to be because we didn't play the first one that much. Because the announcement of the new game, it makes us more excited than if it's just a free content update. Because it's like, oh, I haven't played that. So I think there are good sides to it both ways. I don't think there's a one right answer. I think for me, it's like, it's got to feel different enough where it could be its own thing.
And there are exceptions too. Like Stardew is 10 years old. And honestly, the only reason why it's getting updates is because it's so popular. Like I would have preferred another game like Stardew, but in a different world or something, and just kind of switch up the NPCs and stuff. But you can't really do that. The game is so popular and so successful that like, yeah, update it. But
yeah. I think we're always like, I think us and probably the listeners too are interested in both things, game sequels and massive game updates.
Yeah.
I think it just has to feel out like, for the community of that particular game, what makes the most sense. Like if it's going to deviate so much that you have to add a significant amount of stuff to the game that almost like changes the core of the game, like, then I think maybe it's worth just making a different game. But then there's also the logistics too of like indie games specifically of like doing that whole thing. It might just be easier to update what you've already built instead of starting over, which
I don't want to dog too much on Paleopines, but like if this was a new game, I would be interested. I'd be like, all right, I'll give this team another shot, and like, but I didn't like Paleopines enough to. I mean, that game is not very old, but like that's what 4 years old now, 4 years
Something
old?
like that.
So it's like that's a tough sell for someone to go back and like, you might even want to like restart your file because it's been so long. So yeah, I feel like it could be like could backfire.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. Yeah. But I love this question. So thank you so much, Sammy, for sending it to us. We have another question to get to. This one is from Jasmine. Jasmine said, "Hi guys, I was hoping you could take some time to talk about content creation." Oh my gosh, I'm sorry to the people who hate this. Like, because we talked mostly for the exclusive Patreon unedited version, but we just talked a lot about content creation. So we'll try to talk about content creation, but also, if you're not a content creator, cozy gaming in general. But Jasmine asks, "I was hoping you could take some time to talk about content creation. I admire how much work you guys put into the pod, your individual channels, and your merch. I feel like you all bring a lot of expertise and joy to the cozy gaming, and have inspired a lot of your audience. So my questions, there's multiple.
There's
What
so
did
many.
you? Yeah, I love it though. This is great. What made you decide content creation was for you? How has content creation impacted gaming for you positively or negatively? How do you balance being genuine with your audience while also making sure you give yourself enough privacy? Do you feel like other content creators are peers or competition or both? Does that make it hard to have creator friends? What other hobbies do you have outside of gaming? As always, thank you for what you do for your community. And if no one has told you today, I'm proud of all of your hard work. Jasmine. Jasmine, these are such amazing questions, and we thank you so, so much. And I know we all like talking about this kind of stuff, so thank you so much for asking. But let's just break it down, and let's start with the first one. What made you decide that content creation was for you? I think we should start with Pat, because you have started this much earlier than the two of us.
Actually, the other day, 9 years.
Oh my
Aw,
God.
Happy 9.
Damn.
Happy 9.
I'm getting old.
He's 9 years old.
When I first started, did not think in a million years I'd be like, this would be my job or anything. Like, I just wanted to talk about video games, and like my friends like video games, but not the games I like. Like, I was the weird kid that had a Wii and my friends had like Xbox and, you know, like PS3 and stuff. So like, I don't know, I just started talking games, and then, you know, the pandemic happened. So I was doing it for like 3 years, kind of just like whatever, making a tiny bit of money, but like, yeah, if you didn't know, I don't know if it's this way anymore, but like the minimum you had to do like a payout was like $100, I think. So I would make like $100 every 5 months or something. I don't know. But yeah, the pandemic happened and I was able to like focus. I mean, I had nothing else to do. And then pandemic went on for a long time and everyone was at home watching my channel and it started blowing up a little bit. And I was like, you know what? Let's just try to do it. And I had like a number in mind. I'm like, if I could hit this number, I'll do it full time. And, yeah, I mean, I don't like working for people. I would rather just be my own boss. Like, I was just so over working for someone and like, yeah, so thank you, pandemic. I know a lot of awful things happened in 2020, but that was, I guess, one of the good things. But that's why I started.
Nice. Min, what about you?
What made me decide content creation was for me? I have always wanted to like share what I'm up to like online. I kind of grew up in like the weird kid group that was always on Tumblr, and like that was so fun for me. And like I don't know, I just felt like it was like it started out as a form of like a way to express myself by like posting on there, or like I had like this old little website called like Pixo back in the day, and like I always liked being kind of like on the computer, to be honest, and I liked making things, making videos, video calls with my friends, and then I watched a lot of YouTubers, so I had and I still have a channel, but I don't post on anymore. But I had like this channel that I changed the name of so many times, but it was like this channel that I would post like my prom dresses shopping on, and then I would post like
Oh,
my
I want to
dorm room
see
tour, and I
that.
would then eventually I was really into fitness, so I like did a lot of fitness stuff, and I did content creation, not just YouTube, but like always had different Instagrams. I had one for makeup, I had one, and like some of them, didn't last, and others I did for a long time, like the fitness stuff, and then I like got back into gaming, and I just found like this was something that it was really fun to do because it was more like, I think fitness and health and stuff, that's more of the lifestyle, and I felt like having that, like my lifestyle, like a little more separate from like this hobby, was more fun to create content on. So that's what I've been doing now. So I think in some way, like I would always be doing this in some capacity. Even if
Mhm.
I stopped doing this, I would be creating content some other way. I used to have like one for new therapists. I'm serious. Like I had one for everything I'm interested in. I just like to like share things because I think it's fun. So I don't know. That's kind of what made me. It wasn't really a decision. I feel like it just happens naturally for
All
me.
these channels are still up?
Yeah, I remember on the one I did one video and it did well, and it was on like books to read for new therapists or something. And I remember I forgot all about this channel and this one video, and I remember people commenting on it. Why aren't you making any more videos? And I'm like, oh, well, I don't want to, but
That's so
on that
funny.
topic.
You
But
just had a
yeah.
banger. They wanted more. You left them wanting more.
What about you, Peyton?
Well, I'm so excited to answer these questions right now at this really interesting
Well, there
point.
was a time where you did decide like it was for you, so maybe answer from that perspective.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's fun to hear me decide that maybe content creation's not for me too, which is like what I've
Yeah.
been dealing with recently. But yeah, similar to Min, I actually like I grew up, I loved like watching YouTube. I always made silly little videos with my friends. Like we made silly little music videos and stuff like that. They don't exist anymore. But I did things like that, and it was always just like a fun. I've always been a creative person, and I've always liked um making my own things and like just doing that. So I feel like I played around with that a lot as like a kid and as a teenager. And then I was on a different track in my life where this was not even a thing I was thinking about doing until during the pandemic I watched a lot of people play Animal Crossing, like including Pat, and I thought it was fun, but it still wasn't something that I was like, I really want to do that because I was so on this other path I had for myself of like I was in school trying to be an actor and playwright and all of this other stuff that I was very committed to doing. And then I became chronically ill and cute. I had a surgery that went pretty bad, and suddenly I was like bedridden for a hot second, and I just felt this need to be creative, and I couldn't like go out and act, and I didn't have the brain capacity to write, and those are what I usually did. So I was like, what if I just like I've been playing Animal Crossing, what if I just like stream and make videos? So that's what I did, and I got extremely lucky that people seemed to come over to the corner pretty quick, and it became like an accident that I started doing this because it was like, oh well, now I have this amazing community, and in this time in my life when I really needed some positivity, it was there for me. And there was a time where I never anticipated doing content creation like as a job, like for money. When it started happening, it was a blessing because I was struggling financially, and I was like, oh, this is great that like this thing that I'm doing for fun can also, assist me in addition to my full-time job that I have. And so there was a time that I was like, yeah, maybe I should seize this opportunity because I'm growing this audience. My channel's doing good. I'm doing these things. So I tried to really start like pushing myself to do more and more and more. And then I just was like, actually, I don't really want to do this like that. And it was really hard because I had so many like people in my life that were like, Peyton, just shut up. Like, keep going. Like, you're doing so good. Like, people want to be content creators. You should just like enjoy what's going on instead of, you know. But I felt like I was like cheating on content creation because I've always in the back of my head been like fantasizing about going back to what I originally wanted to do before I got sick. And for so many years, I just like pushed that out of my mind. And I was like, that's not going to happen for me. So this is what I'm going to do instead. Until recently, when I just decided, like, as more and more years of my life go on, and I just have enjoyed making content, I think through this podcast too, I've like really learned too, like compared to you guys, that I'm like, oh my God, I enjoy this, but I have other things that I really want to do. And I don't really want to make this my full-time job. I don't really want to like have this be my main thing. Like I want to act, I want to write, I want to do all this stuff. And for so many years I just like let myself get in my own way. And so this year I'm trying to not. So it's a weird answer to talk about on our Cozy Game podcast for sure. But I think that the fun thing about content creation is there's like no one forces you to do anything. You want to make videos for fun, you want to stream for fun, do that. You want to start trying to do it as a job, good, do that. Oh, you don't want to do it anymore? Okay, stop doing it. Like it's like, or come back or do less or do more. So I think that's something that's kind of interesting. Or do it differently. Do a podcast with your friends, or don't stream. Make videos but don't stream. There's no like right way to do everything. So
Yeah.
there's that. There's more questions in here. Let's run through the rest.
We probably don't have to answer all of them, but
great. Let's pick our favorites.
Maybe the second to last one.
Okay. How has content creation impacted gaming for you positively or negatively?
I like talking about games, but there's so many times where I'm like, man, I wish I wasn't a content creator. Because, like, I don't know. We were talking about relevancy and talking about games. And it's really tough to, like, stick with a game for 100 hours. You know, without making content on it, without having it influence, you know, my channel in any way. Like, it's tough to do that. I mean, I still do it with like sports games and stuff, but like very rare that I do it. I mean, because of content creation and literally this podcast, like every month we talk about upcoming games and stuff. And there's a bunch that I've tried out because of our conversations and whatever that I wouldn't have if I wasn't doing this. But I don't know if you guys feel the same way. It's like, it's a blessing and a curse. Cause like, yeah, you get a community of people around you and it's awesome talking about games and stuff. Like if I wasn't a content creator, Tomodachi life probably wouldn't nearly be as fun, but like joking around and seeing other people's creations and stuff like that's super fun. But sometimes it's like, man, I'm going through games too fast, or like I can't play as many as I want, or I'm playing too many. Like, so yeah, I guess it's positively and negatively affected me as a gamer.
Yeah.
I feel like before content creation, I would just play games at a better pace and like just kind of soak them in more. But
yeah, I agree. I was going to also answer it as my answer is both positive and negative. It has like doing content creation, it has impacted me as a gamer in a way of like my perspective on games kind of needed to widen a little bit, and it does kind of naturally happen too. Like maybe it didn't have to, but because there are now voices of people that are also commenting and asking for you to play things, and like there's these, it's not just you anymore up in this head. like there were other people being like, hey, I want to see more of this, or like, oh, I didn't like that, or it's like, hey, you're not critical enough of games, and it's like, oh, am I not? And like, what would that look like? Because I always kind of started it as just like, I'm just a girl telling you what I think about the game. And yeah, like a lot of times I wouldn't be maybe very critical. So I think I would try to start looking at like, what are people outside of just my realm like looking for in a game, and trying to like think of the audience a bit too, of like when I'm making a video about a game, of like how do I present this game, and like who is it for, rather than like what I thought of it, if that makes sense. um and I think that's a good thing, and it's also like a negative thing, because maybe sometimes I don't know how to conceptualize what I thought of a game because I get so wrapped up in all these other things. So it's something I'm like learning too, of like, I don't know, just perception and like just doing the right thing sometimes in content creation is really hard, because like Peyton said, there is no right thing. So I think just gaming, it's not always fully for me anymore in my head. Sometimes it's like also like, oh, would my audience like this? What would they think of it? What would they want to know about it? You know what I mean? So that's kind of my perspective.
Yeah. I feel like there are really good and really bad things. Like, I mean, mostly positive for me, because I played video games a lot as a kid, and I stopped, came back to it with Animal Crossing, and then it was through content creation that like opened my eyes to cozy gaming and all these other genres and games I never would have thought to play. And I have enjoyed that so much, like getting to discover all these things that I never would have thought I would have been interested. Who knew I would be the deck building roguelike queen? I didn't, for sure. So that definitely wouldn't have come my way without like content creation. And I think getting to be fortunate to get to play so many games, to get to showcase so many games, whether, you know, I've gotten gifted games from my community, whether I've gotten to, you know, been sent ones by developers, like I've always been so appreciative of that. And I probably would never have been able to afford my Steam library if I didn't get those opportunities. So I'm extremely grateful for them. And then negatively, I think I'm really great at like getting in my own head about things. So I think that there were definitely lots of times where I was like, I gotta play 75 games this year so I can make that end of the year tier list. So we gotta get through the games quick. And, you know, then I didn't give games more of a chance than they deserved. Or games that like maybe I enjoyed, but like the stream, it didn't seem like people were vibing. So then maybe I was like, oh, this game just like kind of isn't it. So a lot of that was like self-imposed on my crazy brain. I would say it mostly has affected positively. But I think also what happens with content creation a lot too is like you stop playing games just for yourself as well, which is something that I'm trying to be better at now. Like I was like, yeah, okay, I want to like rediscover my joy for this and not feel like everything I have to do has to be seen. So if I want to make my hot boys and Tomodachi life just for me, then that's okay. And that's all right. And if I change my mind, then I'll change my mind. So yeah, I think there are lots of positives and negatives to be had from it. And let's circle to I don't know, what do you want to talk about? Privacy, hobbies, or competition?
Yeah, let's do the competition one.
All right. Do you guys feel tell us, do you feel like other content creators are peers or competition, or both? Does it make it hard to have creator friends? Tell us about that.
I think this is the biggest misconception that viewers have. I think that people see like, I mean, you guys are friends, so it's not a good example, but I feel like if people see a channel like Min and a channel like Peyton, like they think they're competing. And I don't think it's like that. At least in my experience, I've never looked at a channel and I'm like, oh my God, I'm competing with Zach Switchforce for my Animal Crossing viewers. Like I've never thought
of course.
That. I think
I'm joking.
I look at other channels to see kind of like what's worked for them and kind of maybe do that. Like maybe if I'm in my head about like, oh my God, I've played cozy games recently, but like, should I make a video saying like, what have I liked and what haven't I liked? And then maybe I see a bigger channel like make a video like that and it popped off. That gives me a little bit more confidence. But like I never see a channel and I'm like, that's my op, Like
That's my competition.
That's my op is crazy.
I mean, do you guys agree with that? I mean, maybe you don't. Maybe you're super competitive and you're like, oh my God, Iona is my friggin' enemy. Like,
honestly, I don't, if I'm really thinking about it, like, I don't think I think of the person, the creator behind the channel as a competition. You know what I mean? A competitor. But I might think of, like, the space they're in as competing with views or, like, saturation of the content. And I don't even think that's realistic. Like, I think that's
No.
just something I get in my head and I worry that, like, what I have to say or what I have to put out there isn't valuable or relevant anymore because it's been done, and that is not true. So it's just kind of like you need to like constantly remember that you have value because you have a different opinion and you have different reactions to things than other people do. And some people resonate with you more than they do with somebody else. Like somebody resonates more with Pat than they do with me, and like that's the point of like there being more than one person. And yeah, do I feel like content creators are my peers? I do, like, especially with you guys. And I think the more I'm around people that I have become friends with in the creator space, the less I actually compare myself to them because I feel like, of course I do sometimes, or I'll be like, oh, why am I not at that spot yet? But I'm not like constantly like, oh my gosh, how did they do that? Which I've definitely got caught in before, more of like a comparison trap rather than like competition of like, and I don't think it's like completely bad to compare yourself. I think sometimes it's like what you need to like push yourself a little bit to be like, oh, I want to try this or I want to try what they tried that got them that. And I don't think it's competition of the content creator. Does it make it hard to have creative friends? I think some creators want to be friends and some creators don't really want to have like other creative friends, and I don't think it's because of competition. I think it's just because of how people like run their lives or like who you're around, like on or who you click with and not.
Yeah, some people upload and then just go on their way. Some people upload and want to have a conversation. Like it's very different.
Exactly.
Yeah.
About you, Peyton?
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I have a different kind of answer.
That's okay.
Well, right now, competitive with no one. Girl, we're vibing. It's chill. But in the past, I feel like I have competition like drives me and like fuels me. Like I'm a very competitive person in like a friendly way, of course. And a lot of it is like self-imposed. But I think that, yeah, like I would be competitive in the sense of like I wanted to push myself to like if there was a big game that was coming out and like I have access to the game a week before it drops. Had I had the thought that was like, yeah, what if I pushed myself? I made 100-day video. I bet no one else is going to make 100-day video in 4 days. Absolutely. Absolutely. If someone did, was I like comparing my video to theirs? No, not at all. Whenever I would make like the same videos everybody would make, like, oh, games coming out this month or ranking videos. Did I compare myself to their videos? No, I did not. But were there times when I would be like, oh my God, if I do this thing before everybody else, maybe it'll do better for me? For sure.
Oh,
and
100%.
That I feel like motivated me to like be on my stuff a lot of the time. And then I did, as far as other content creators go, there was another content creator who me and that person we're still friendly. We don't really talk as much, but we always did talk about like having similar like audience sizes and numbers, and we did always kind of have like a friendly competition with each other. And we always shared in the fact that it like sometimes there were days where we just didn't want to upload something, and we kind of helped push each other to keep going in a way. And it was like silly, goofy poking fun of like, oh, you're ahead of me this month, or you're ahead of me this month. And that was fun for a while. And I'm glad I had that experience. But then I got to a point where I was like, oh, what I want to do is different than what this person wants to do. So it's no longer serving me to have that mental friendly competition. But I don't think there's anything wrong with having that, as long as it's like in a healthy place for yourself. I think that being competitive can push you to do things. But I think if it gets to a place where you start feeling like pressure or feeling like you have to do things, then it's like, maybe not. But as far as making friends with other people, I've never felt like I can't be friends with them because they're my competition.
Yeah.
I always want everyone to be friends with me because I want everyone to love me and like me all the time. So I'm the opposite. I always like will be like, I don't know if this person wants to be my friend, but I want to be their friend. And then I'm always pleasantly surprised when I get the chance to talk to content creators, like outside of just, like saying hi in each other's streams. I have had amazing interactions with people, and I felt so lucky to get to do that. So yeah, I think for the most part, like most content creators like are the same in the way of like they do their stuff, and their stuff is different than your stuff, and it's different than your stuff. Even if it's the same category, it's all different, and we can find things to be friends with. And not everyone is going to be friends, but some people are really close friends. And then sometimes you don't even really talk about games with your content creator friends.
Yeah.
And that's fun too.
We talk about hockey novels and stuff.
Yeah. I'll tell you. You want to know more about the hockey? Because I could tell you more about it. You know nothing about it. I could tell you everything about it. But anyway, that was just some of the amazing questions. Thank you so much again, Jasmine, for sending us that email. Once again, if you want to send us emails, please
We need them,
that.
actually.
We actually need them. So send us some. Slowburncast@gmail.com. Please. What a great show! Oh my God, we did it!
Amazing
Crazy.
show. Yeah.
If you want even more, you can become a Patreon supporter and listen to our after show that we do after this, that we're gonna do after this, as well as listen to the unedited version of this podcast, because it was certainly fun. Anything else you guys have to add?
I think that's it. We will give you
That's
an
it.
updated Tomodachi life thoughts. We probably won't do a whole segment on it, but we'll touch on it a little bit. So hope you guys are enjoying the game. Thank you so much for listening to the Slow Burn podcast, and I believe we will see you next week with more. Bye, everyone.
You believe?
Maybe.
Bye.
Never know what could happen.
Oh, okay. Well,
I believe
keep
we'll
them.
be here next time. Bye.
Stay on your toes, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.